What's up, warriors? Oh my gosh, I was just crying my eyes out. Just sent my mom a message of all the things I've had in my heart, all the love that I have in my heart. I wrote it out. All the things that I haven't been vulnerable enough to say to her. And it just makes me realize, like, man, as I live more into my calling, God is transforming me more into the person that He's called me to be, which is a loving person and a person who has mercy and is vulnerable. And yeah, that's not comfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for me. But I can feel Him changing me. I can feel Him opening my heart. And that's a beautiful thing when you start living into your calling. He starts changing your heart. He starts changing your mind, your emotions, your perspectives, your actions, all of it. And He starts to soften your heart, because how are you going to live into your calling and fight for people if you don't love them, or if you don't love them the way He loves them? And how are you going to fight for His sheep if you don't love His sheep as much as He loves them? And I don't know if we could ever do that. I don't think we could, because I don't think we can even fathom God's love. But we can love a lot more than we do. And but our hearts are broken. Our hearts are hurt. Our hearts are damaged. And when you start to live into your calling, He restores your heart. And my heart is being restored. And it's crazy. And this mercy thing, speaking life over people and love over people, and not being so critical and so rough and sharp and hard and jagged, all comes from when I almost died on the highway. That giant metal rod fell on my hood, and it could have fallen on my head and I'd be dead. And then the sign on the bridge after that said, "Ask Jesus for mercy." And went to church that night, had a pastor pray for me. And the next day I talked to one of my friends at church, and she was asking me some questions, and she helped me realize what that meant. And it was loving people and not being so hard on them, and not being so hard on myself. And so, yeah, it's just like I'm doing these morning calls, and today the call went 3 hours, and I'm hearing from so many people are so hard on themselves. We're so hard on ourselves. We have so little mercy with ourselves. It's crazy. And we just beat ourselves up, and we judge ourselves, and we criticize ourselves, and it's just so heavy. And I know that because I do it constantly. And it's never enough. I'm never good enough. And it's just all the enemy. And so tomorrow on the call, I'm not going to go over a Bible verse or anything like that. I'm just going to have people share what they're proud of themselves for. How are they winning in this fast? And just have them acknowledge themselves for how well they're actually doing. And you guys, you're all doing so well. I don't know if you see how well you're doing, but you guys are doing so incredibly well. I can see it because I'm the outside looking in. And there's that saying of, you can't read the label when you're inside the jar. It's hard to know how good you're doing when you're in the middle of your own life. But when people are outside your life looking in, they can see things from a different perspective, and they can see things that you can't see. And what I can see is just massive growth in each and every one of you. And it's so inspiring and so encouraging. It fuels my life every day. It's what pushes me to wake up in the morning. It's what pushes me to study. It's what, gives me this drive and this passion, other than the Lord, obviously. And it's just the most encouraging thing I've ever experienced in my life. You guys are all succeeding greatly. And if you don't feel like it, it's just because you're believing a lie that the enemy's told you. But you guys are all succeeding greatly. Every single one of you has transformed dramatically. I mean, dramatically. Which is incredible. And so I hope you guys are proud of yourselves. I know the Lord is proud of you. Yeah, I'm so proud of you guys. You guys are just, you're warriors. You're it. You're the real deal. And you guys are so faithful. You're so loyal to the Lord. And it's so encouraging and so inspiring. So, yeah. Living into your calling is no joke. It is no joke whatsoever. It is so intense. It is constant transformation. But that's what makes it so exciting. To know that who I am right now is like a fraction of who I'm going to be in the future. To know that the love I feel in my heart right now is only a fraction of the love that I'm going to feel in the future. To know that the joy that I feel right now is only a fraction of the joy I'm going to feel in the future. The compassion I feel right now is only the fraction of the compassion I'm going to feel in the future. Like, man, I think this is why the enemy fights so hard to make sure the believers don't find their calling, because when you find it and you choose to live into it, everything changes. The key is just trusting God every step of the way. Trusting him every step of the way, because a lot of it's not going to look like it's good. It's not going to look good a lot of the times, but we can't honor what we see more than what we know. And what we know is that God loves us and he's for us and he's not against us. And so if it looks bad, it doesn't mean it is bad. And so I think that's one of the biggest challenges as you live into your calling. It's like, Lord, everything's fallen apart ever since I found my calling. I'm living into it. This isn't working. That isn't working. But that's what it looks like. But the truth is, it's going better than you could ever imagine. And just trusting him enough to trust his word and trust his promises. When he says he's for you, he's not against you. His plans are to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope in a future. That he's with you. He hasn't forsaken you. He's proud of you. He loves you. You're his masterpiece. You're royalty. It's like, you got to believe those things. And the beautiful thing is, he helps you start to believe in them. So, it's a crazy journey, warriors. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy to go on this journey, but that's why God chose you. Many are called, few are chosen, and even fewer say yes. And you guys say yes to God every day, and you guys should be so proud of yourselves. So it's an honor to serve beside you guys. It's an honor to lead you guys. It's an honor to call you family and friends. Yeah, just what an absolute honor. You guys are a rare breed, and you're true warriors in every sense of the word. So yeah, love you guys.